Hi, everyone, and welcome to the NFA Podcast. I am Nish, and this is Frackers, and the A stands for anyone else and you guys listening. Really excited to have you here. Every week, we cover all the major news and updates, and we give you a little surprise with 2 tokens, or for Michael's part, 2 stocks that we're watching, and the reasoning behind it, how our portfolios are doing, but nothing that we say is financial advice. So stay tuned. My name is Nish. I am a PR and marketing specialist in the space. I've been in the space since 2018, but full time in 2020. Really dove in 2020, and I've helped hundreds and hundreds of companies launch. I've helped them go to market. I've helped them on PR, marketing, and other growth and business development strategies. And that's why I'm able to sit here today and tell you what to look for when it comes to these kind of tokens,
To basically give tips.
but not financial advice.
NFA also stands for not financial advice.
Yes.
Boy, the questions we got were so basic. Like, who the hell do you think you are to give all these tips? And we're like, no, I'm not giving tips. We're not giving tips. We're not giving.
The name
NFA
is
stands
NFA.
for exactly non-financial advice. So yeah, I'm Michiel Frackers, but Michael Frackers is fine for those who are not Dutch. And I'm a tech entrepreneur already since the early 90s. There's a lot of news going on this week in tech and crypto, and it's wild. So I really love to know your take on what has happened and what news that you brought, or what's basically going on.
I mean, all of the news that's out there is all political. So it's not like the fun stuff that I usually like to talk about. But since we're
The
here,
scams, you mean?
yeah,
Not the usual fun
kind of.
scams.
I mean, as of the last 24 hours, China has announced that they're gonna deploy 500 billion yuan, more than last year. So that's exciting because every time China does these stimulus moves, it kind of affects the overall crypto market. So I'm hoping that things go well, but I think with the political landscape, we'll see how it goes. Then there's a Brazilian fintech firm that made headlines everywhere because they're adopting Bitcoin as their reserve strategy, but this has been misconstrued by media, and everyone's saying Brazil is launching their Bitcoin reserve. And so, just to note, this is a correction for you guys. It's a firm within Brazil, not the Brazilian government. And then there's one more, well, 2 more. One is the Vietnam Ministry of Finance. They have introduced legal framework around digital assets and cryptocurrencies. So that will be coming out over the next couple weeks, months. I'm not really sure, but they've introduced that. They've announced that they will introduce it. But I'll let you go ahead with the other news.
So what happened was President Trump announced on Truth Social that he was going to basically buy Cardano, Ripple, and Solana.
Yeah.
Or in your world, ADA, Sol, and what's the other one? XRP.
ADA, Sol, and XRP.
Yeah. So an hour later, Trump posted then that he was also, of course, loving Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then next thing you know, a few days later, CryptoSar from the White House, David Sachs, announced on X that there were 2 different things: a Bitcoin strategic reserve and a stockpile. And I also love it when it implies you can have a Bitcoin non-strategic reserve. Why just call it Bitcoin reserve? Now, there's a Bitcoin strategic reserve, but it's not actually the US government buying Bitcoin, just hodling the assets that they have somehow accumulated over time from seized assets and other civil and criminal proceedings, if I'm correct. That's the Bitcoin strategic reserve. But then there's also I love this word, stockpile, the digital stockpile, which are other tokens. But in those now, suddenly, there's no mention of XRP, ADA, and Sol. So what's going on?
So they're coming from 2 different sources, right? One would be that the government actually invests in the tokens. And for that to even take place is going to take so long for all the steps of approval to go through. So while he can say that it's just going to be, it's going to happen and we're going to set up this strategic reserve, it's not actually how it works. So the second option is what, sorry, I forgot his name.
David Sachs.
Yes. So what he's saying is that we go through whatever we have in our, like what the SEC has already taken, or what the FBI has already taken, what the government already holds, and we just hold it. Yeah. So they just
can we say that the U.S. government is hodling, basically? That's it.
Basically.
At least they're not selling, right? I mean, because actually, I do think President Trump had an interesting point there. He said they've been selling in the past. And if they wouldn't have done that, it would have been so much more.
Yeah.
What other assets are they deciding to hold, and which one are they deciding to sell? I find that interesting. Will they hold onto all the tokens? Can you imagine the U.S. government owns a lot of Pepe? That would just be funny.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they'd be selective now that he's tweeted out those tokens of ADA, Sol, and ETH, Bitcoin, and whatever else. I'm sure that
was on Sunday. But Nish, he didn't come back to that. It was never mentioned anymore in the announcement that came out.
But why would it be? I'm telling you, it was done just to like make some people money. Like that's my take on it. It's my conspiracy theory. But remember, the government's new, right? It's new to the space. We can say that Trump's been involved, but he hasn't seen what we've seen by being on the ground and going to these conferences and seeing all these like projects come up that don't have any fundamentals and don't have any values.
I do think it's positive that crypto developers are even invited to the White House, and that the White House is organizing a crypto summit. That could you have imagined this a year ago? So for me, being in the space, of course, from the development side, I'm thrilled that it's not being seen as just scam and all. Even though we always joke about there are only scams in it, there's serious developers being acknowledged. So I really love that.
Yeah. I'm happy that he's making those moves, but he can announce it, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be implemented. And I think we've seen that a lot with Trump. You said an example earlier where he said he was going to do ADA and Sol, but then when it got published, it was just Bitcoin, Yeah,
but here's the thing, Manish, he hasn't really announced anything yet. Just the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve and the digital asset stockpile. Just can't say it without laughing. But other than that, he hasn't announced any plan yet. So we also cannot say, we're disappointed the plan didn't go through, because there's never been a plan announced other than make America great again and make it the crypto capital of the world, which are goals. Yeah. Which is not a strategy nor a plan.
Yeah.
That's like me saying I want to grow long hair. It's a goal. There's no plan.
I can give you a plan if you like. So when it comes to all this like Trump stuff, I'm very bullish for the long-term output of where this industry is going to be. But in the short term, with all the tariffs and all this back and forth, I'm just not sure whether to buy, sell, or hold. It's just a tricky market to navigate. But in the long run, it's an easy answer. It's just obviously hold, with China doing their stimulus, with Vietnam getting into digital assets officially, there's so many countries that are set to follow, especially if America is
apparently there's rumors Indonesia will also, that's also very active on the trading side, and just actually it's very, it's really interesting what's happening.
Yeah, and Indonesia is one of the largest markets when it comes to crypto users. Specifically, though, Muslim crypto users. So if you look at any Sharia-compliant blockchains or exchanges, or, you name it, they're all targeting Indonesia. Islamic banking is very transparent. That's how they make it Sharia-compliant. And same with crypto. They don't list any meme coins because those are considered gambling, usually the ones that I've spoken to. But aside from that, they
makes sense to me. Yeah, I agree.
I think the entire industry is a gamble, to be honest. But
not if you're actually developing stuff. If there's no development, it's just a sticker of a frog or an image of a frog. That's not development. Why are you hating on my Pepe? I did notice on your laptop when you showed me your setup that there was a different sticker on the bottom right of your laptop.
Yeah, I have a Bitcoin and a Pepe.
Oh, the Pepe's on the left and Bitcoin is on the right?
Yeah.
I thought you'd put a Bitcoin sticker over the Pepe. Like, I'm out of meme coins. I'm in the...
No, never. Never. I love my meme coins. You just wait.
I'm not even arguing against you because I think if we would make a portfolio contest, you'd probably cream me. But because on my side, that's the fun part. It's been really, you mentioned tariffs already. Well, look in the traditional tech world, or now just in the whole, other than gold, let's summarize it this way. Other than gold, everything's down. Everything.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
100%. Um,
so,
well, with that as a segue, tell me about your stock picks today.
so here's, it's the same as crypto. So, we were having this whole idea with a format. What a brainstorm that was, like 6 minutes. So we do tech and we do crypto. And then so far, this is now episode 6, it's identical what's happening in both markets. They're just following. The macroeconomic factors are so strong. The threat of war in Europe, there's too much insecurity that it's affecting both traditional stocks, bonds, tech stocks, highly volatile tech stocks, high growth stocks, AI. This is aside from DeepSeek, which was sort of a dent in the whole AI hopes. AI was really driving the tech sector, and DeepSeek can tell it threatened the life out of everybody who's investing in AI on the other side, which is just throw more iron at it, basically.
Yeah.
It's a little bit the AI strategy of most tech companies, really niche, is shooting pudding against the wall. Let's throw a lot of pudding. If this wall's full, we build a next wall. We throw more pudding, and then we'll see if somehow a business model evolves. And so far, what's really happening in my scene is that it's not happening.
Yeah, of course. The AI scene is quite young, and also it's heavily dominated, right? So they're the 5 main companies that currently run the majority of AI that's going on. I will say, actually, I had a different pick for my token, but I think just to get out loud, I'm probably going to change that. It's BitTensor. BitTensor is it for me. So they are creating a decentralized AI network. So you and I can go in and create our own AI protocols that's built on the BitTensor network. But it's regulated by all the community members and everyone who mines the Tau token. What I really like about it, though, is that the network is huge. It's such a big network. And already they have a whole medtech sector, and they have a social fi sector, and they have all these other sectors that have already been created. It's just a matter of time before people recognize the power that these 5 companies have and the importance of a decentralized solution. And I'm sure a lot of people don't even know it exists.
No, it's just that you've mentioned it to me before, but is it a token that's available right now in the markets? Is it in pre-sale, public sale? What's going on?
No, it's been around for a while, actually. Let me check.
Would it be like an AI token or something you would describe as an AI token? Because those were...
well, it's not an AI agent. That's the thing. It's here. It's ranked 41. So it has a massive market cap. It's at 5.99 bill. So they've done really well. Sorry, the fully diluted market cap is at 5.99 billion, and the market cap right now is at 2.41 billion. But I really like what they're doing. I think that they are really, really cool.
But that's interesting that you at least have a pick. See, my sort of analysis is right now that I'm trying to figure it out for myself, what the hell's going on. So I guess with all this global uncertainty about the tariffs, tensions in the West between the US and Europe, and then tensions obviously in Eastern Europe and the war in Ukraine, that's one factor that's negative. The second factor, of course, is that really doesn't help, is that there is more and more concern about no AI business model. So that all these companies like an OpenAI and Anthropic just closed a few $1 billion funding and evaluation of 60 billion. It loses money like hand over fist. Just not as much as OpenAI. OpenAI could be losing 15 billion this year.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's so much money. So there's first concern there that they don't make money. But then here's the second thing. You get Meta, and like we discussed a few times, Meta, Google, Microsoft, Amazon pouring tens of billions, in total hundreds of billions combined into AI development. And here's the weird part. They're still profitable, very profitable, but not on their AI investments. They are more long-term. But it looks like the customers have no way of monetizing their investments in AI. So what's going to trickle down then is if the customers don't make money on AI investments, they're going to scale back Microsoft, Google, whatever. But the money they're paying to them, they're going to scale back their investments in Nvidia. And then it just, and then the whole OpenAI and all those AI developing companies are also going to go down. So that's sort of the fear right now. And because I'm still very bullish long-term in Nvidia, but again, I could be completely wrong and it's not financial advice because I think they have no competition, if you know what I mean. There is really no one else who can build what they build. So if people want faster chips, they have to go to Nvidia. The only thing is if really there's no AI business model, maybe people don't want faster chips. You know what I mean? And then it's like, give me cheaper chips. Ooh,
I don't
scary.
think it's going anywhere. I don't feel like the AI narrative's going, like, I don't mean that, I mean, it's not going to disappear. But funny thing is that I asked ChatGPT to be my prompt engineer and give me prompts for whatever I'm putting in. And that has been a massive game changer. Huge. Yeah. Like, even I do a lot of like research reviews, right, for my master's. And part of my research reviews, you're looking at like these 16-page long scientific jargon. And if I run it through ChatGPT, the amount of misinformation is just way too much. Yeah. But I've asked ChatGPT to create me a custom GPT that will help me go through these papers with high accuracy and to train that GPT according to like what I find to be perfection. And it's given me a whole bunch of information to feed into my custom GPT. And so far, so good. It's been working really well.
Yeah, so I think long-term, same with the crypto, but I'm serious. I'm bullish on AI. It just, the business model is tough. The costs are so high. The cost of iron, basically. So it's energy plus servers, plus data centers, plus chips. So that's a long answer, a long discussion about your question about my stock picks. I'm still holding on to Nvidia, even though it gets clobbered. And the second thing I'll just say in one sentence, Palantir, I'm still holding on, still haven't sold. I'm still holding Nvidia, Palantir, and I'm advising people to look at Alibaba. I don't give tips, don't give advice, but I'm advising people just look at it because it's a forgotten company that's doing interesting things with AI, and it announced more AI developments yesterday that are pretty much overlooked in the Western media. And I have a question for you. So it's not about stocks, but it's about crypto. Right. So we have a question that came in from a viewer. Here it goes, and it's a hard one. So this person, it's a guy, I can say that. Obviously, it's anonymous. We protect all innocent victims. He had a lot of Bitcoin. And then last year, he had everything in Bitcoin. Around the presidential election in November, he thought, okay, now it's really going to spike. The alts, it's time for altcoin season. The alts are going to roll. Bitcoin went up so much. So he sold 40% of his Bitcoin and put it in the top 100 altcoins, but no meme coins. No meme coins. Which, of course, you'll say, there's mistake number one. I know you.
No, that's good. Good luck.
Okay, since then, that 40% of his Bitcoin assets that he put in altcoins are down 70%. That's painful. And plus, Bitcoin went down a lot, of course. So his question is, if we were him, I told him we don't do financial advice, we don't give tips. But he asked us, if we were him, would we, for example, sell altcoins or move them into Bitcoin? What will we do? Or just hodl?
Okay, so this is tricky, right? Personally,
I'm asking you, so it is personally. Well, I'm not asking the whole family, Sachdev.
Fine.
Ask the family. I'm asking you. Mom, I'm Mrs. Sachdev.
Okay, so firstly, it depends what tokens he's got into. If they're not meme coins, I'm assuming the majority of them are layer 1 protocols.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
It's Solana, Sui, you know them all.
Yeah, because that usually makes up the top 100 anyway. Layer 1, layer 2, just use case tokens. Yeah. Right now, with this cycle, there's no guarantee on who the blockchain protocol of this season is going to be. Sounds like a TV show, but every season, every cycle, there's one blockchain that just dominates. And in 2017,
but you don't know which one, of course. That's
of course, yeah. Yeah, we've seen Ethereum go through that cycle and look at where it is today. BNB went through that cycle. Look at where that is today. Solana went through that cycle. I remember I'd gone into Solana when it was like $7, and I sold at 14. I was like, "Yay! I made money!" And I wish I held. But yeah, basically we've seen all the layer ones go through that. At the same time, we've also seen layer ones die out and fizzle out. ICP, ICP is trying to make a comeback, but it's been years. But Polkadot, Polygon, like all these companies have had their mind share and kind of drifted off. Zooming out a little bit, I feel like, maybe just holding, because you cannot predict which layer one's going to be it. Or maybe selling the layer ones that are dying off that you don't see potential in, and moving in the layer ones if you still want to stay in that L1, L2 game.
Well, he's just looking for maximum return. So that's the whole thing. And then my question to you isn't then the safest bet to sell it now and move it to Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin is also down a lot. And then isn't that the token that will, with the least amount of risk, go up the most?
Okay, safest bet, yes, because long-term hold Bitcoin just makes sense. I think, over the next few months, my goal is also to sell off a lot of my positions and move everything into Bitcoin and just keep getting higher, a larger portion of my portfolio into Bitcoin for the long run. So, I mean, if that's his goal, if his goal is a long run goal, why are you laughing?
I have a theory. Okay, you saw that? Trying to keep a straight face.
You're terrible.
I'm the worst poker player. I think you're thinking about babies.
Why?
That's what I think.
What do you mean I'm thinking about babies?
I think you think about your family. So you're thinking about starting a family, and then you're taking less risky decisions, and then Bitcoin is the safest bet within crypto. That's what I'm thinking.
No, actually.
Uncle Mike predicted.
Actually, listen. I'm just tired of the volatility. I don't have gray hair. I don't want gray hair. I have silver hair I've had since I was 7, and I just want to cap that done. I do not need crypto to stress me out more than it already does. I don't think I'll ever stop with my meme coins, but I just feel like
I'm you're done. Getting rid of the other layer ones to put that in Bitcoin, but you'll stay in meme coins, not getting out of meme coins.
No. So wait, I never finished. Now, my goal with the layer ones is to sell by the cycle, because when that bear market hits, realistically, I don't know what's still going to be around. I don't know how Sui's going to perform. They have massive unlocks coming up with their token. I don't know how it is in the long run. For the short term, I feel like it's great. I feel like it has a lot of potential to be that layer one. Solana as well, long run, with the promises that were made, great. I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, but there are a lot of banks promised to build their stable coins on Solana. It sounds great, but I haven't heard anything since. And that was back in September. So I don't know. We'll see.
So what if I can summarize what you're saying? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're saying then select within the altcoins that you own, for the viewer that sent in this question, and then select which ones you think will die, sell those off, move those into Bitcoin, but don't get out of all altcoins, just some of them.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I'm struggling with the answer, because I also just want to throw in my 2 cents, even though it's based on nothing. See, I'm less risk, I have lower risk appetite than you, and I believe in Bitcoin in the long run. I do. So I think if you want to make sure you've already lost 40%, right? Or sorry, what's the question? Lost 70%. It's down 70% since he moved 40% of his Bitcoin into altcoins. If you want to hedge against that and you want to earn that back, I would put it in Bitcoin, but not all of it. Probably here's what I would do, probably put half of that back in Bitcoin and keep half in altcoins, and be more selective in your altcoin selection.
Yeah, that's fair. So
that,
similar,
if the altcoins go up, you're still sort of, then I'm thinking, I guess close, because I think if altcoins go up, you still benefit some of that. But if
Mhm.
Bitcoin goes up, you benefit most, right? Because then you will have 80% of
Exactly.
your portfolio in Bitcoin and 20% in altcoin. So
But what is this goal?
um,
Long term or short term?
long term. So just
Yes.
we don't give tips, but we don't recommend anyone putting everything in it. I still think, and I want to keep reminding people of it, do not put money in crypto that you cannot afford to lose, and that you need maybe in the short term.
100%. That is probably one of the hardest lessons that I had learned initially. At least when I started my crypto journey, I remember I went full circle with making my first 6 figures and then went down to like 10 grand. And I was like, where did my money go? Just
Yeah, it's a good lesson,
don't
eh?
go.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
to learn it early, though. I do think it's good to
Hmm.
learn early. Okay, so
Yeah.
then I have one final question for you about this. So the whole thing with President Trump and the Bitcoin, I still have to say it right. Bitcoin strategic reserves and the digital asset stockpile. My point is this. What is the difference? Bitcoin, isn't that the largest meme coin? Question from one of our other viewers, a CTO that you and I both know. Isn't Bitcoin the largest meme coin? It doesn't have any underlying value. It's run by a smart
Yes.
contract, which is why we like it. Tell me, what are your thoughts?
Yes. It's technically a meme coin. The
So
dev is anonymous. He stepped away. It's used
run
for
by a smart contract,
transactional and
but it's fully
speculation.
decentralized though, which
Hmm.
is why we like it, right? There's no
Yes.
authority, no governing authority, which is why it's great.
Yeah.
Don't you? We would say this is what we like about the.
So you do like meme coins. Well, that's all for today.
I have no other tips than hold on for dear life in crypto and in tech stocks.
Hmm.
And then if you hold gold, God, it was a funny week for you. People came up to old school people that stayed in gold having great weeks. Just
Yeah.
killing it.
Yeah. Wow.
You're not in gold?
Guess no. I am, but not massively. I do this thing where every New Year I buy a small little bullion.
Every new year?
Hmm.
Like on January 1st or which other, I don't know which calendar
Yeah.
you people you people are sticking to. Wherever you
You
say you're
people.
from. You people.
Yeah, January 1st. So in January I'll buy something gold. Something.
Oh, cute. Just
Yeah.
is it for good luck or what is it for?
I don't know. It's just been a thing. Just been a habit, you know?
That's fun. Most people in January just completely look at their bank account like, oh, December was expensive.
Or they'll
But
go to the
massage
gym
this
and
year.
be like, New Year, new me.
That was me. Hey, down 15 pounds the year. This guy right here.
Hey,
Right
there
here.
you go.
Yeah, there you go. Well, half of it was cutting my eyebrows. All right, we got nothing.
Yeah, we'll see how much power the next few tweets of Trump have on the market.
Yeah. All right, thanks so much for the
Thanks
people
for
that watched
joining us.
and listened. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Bye-bye, see you next week. Or maybe much quicker if there's a huge event.
Yep. We'll see you.
Bye.